Dr. Darien is back now, and there's been an alarming increase in calls to poison control centers about energy drinks in kids. Tell us about that, Dr. Sutton.
This data is shared directly with our medical unit from America's Poison Centers, and it's citing an alarming increase in the rate of exposures to energy drinks. So just to break it down, energy drinks are those beverages that either have caffeine or other forms of stimulants like L-carnitine or taurine. And what they're seeing is in the 2023, at least a 20% increase in the rate of phone calls for young teens, adolescents, and even children being exposed to these incredibly high amounts of caffeine. In one of these bottles, guys, more than 300 grams or milligrams of caffeine. That's more than 3 cups of coffee.
Wow.
Might not seem like a lot for an adult, but for a young adult or child, that can be significant.
And there's so many different ingredients, and they have those good flavors, so obviously kids want them.
Yeah.
But what do we need to know about how much caffeine kids should have? I mean, should they have any at all?
Great question. They can be incredibly enticing. When you look at these bottles in the supermarket, for example, sometimes I forget that those are energy supplements. I think what's important to know is if you look at the data and you ask the specialist, when you look at the American Academy of Pediatrics, there is no amount of caffeine for a child under the age of 18 that is proven to be safe. So it's best to avoid. Now, for adults, the safe upper limit is around 400 milligrams of caffeine. What does that equal? About 4 cups of coffee. Obviously, that is the upper limit. You want to try to reduce that as much as possible.
That's more than Rebecca.
I'm talking to 2 people who might be getting to that, limit.
I have a little problem, but as a parent, I also can understand with my 5-year-old, she doesn't need caffeine.
Absolutely.
Like, I'm falling asleep with her. She's already going. She doesn't need caffeine.
An important point, there's no benefit, there's only risk with children, so it's best to avoid.
And we want to remind folks, for emergency assistance, please call the Poison Help hotline at 1-800-222-1222.